Hello everyone, this is Colleen Lemma, Starseed Astrologer and Spiritual Messenger from SacredSoulEmpowerment.com. Here to do your weekly angel card reading for Monday, June 15th through Sunday, June 21st, 2020. For this week's weekly reading, we'll be using the Syrian Starseed Tarot by Patricia Corey and Alyssa Bartha for the main message for everyone. We also have a special Archangel card here for the general collective message, and then your special message card, depending on your stone of choice, will be coming from the Energy Oracle cards by Sandra Ann Taylor. Just a reminder, if you haven't already watched the monthly angel card reading for the month of June, it's a powerful month with eclipses and Mercury retrograde, so you might want to go onto my YouTube channel to watch that full extended monthly angel card reading, complete with the energy of June, the astrological highlights of the month, as well as messages from our angels and guides. So let's start by taking a look at your stones of choice for this weekly angel card reading. The first stone of choice is ammonite. Let me see if I can get a good handle on it without dropping it. Okay, there we go. So the ammonite, it's a spiral-shaped, ancient, fossilized stone. Okay, so this comes from an ancient animal that has been fossilized for a long period of time, and that spiral shape symbolizes continual change and evolution. The ammonite also helps to stimulate the chi within our bodies as well as activate our life path. The second stone of choice here is a clear quartz crystal point. This is a nice cut and polished clear quartz crystal point. It's one of the collection of my special intention stones that I have, where I actually infuse the intentions of your choice into the clear quartz crystal point and then send it to you. But the clear quartz by itself is a stone of power that helps to amplify any energy or intention that you have. This stone also helps to attune one to their higher soul self and helps to protect from negative and or lower vibrational energies. And then your last stone of choice here is peacock stone. Now, peacock stone can come in a variety of different peacock looking colors, such as fuchsia and like a softer pink and maybe even some orange, but this particular peacock stone is turquoise in color. Of course, you can see all those wonderful little gold flecks in them. Now, this of course relates to that throat chakra energy and speaking one's truth and or channeling because of that turquoise color. But peacock stone in general is a stone of happiness. It helps to uplift one's self-esteem, increases one's morale, and helps to dismiss doubts and fears and self-limitations. So again, your stones of choice for the week are the ammonite, the clear quartz crystal point, or, let's turn it around this way, the peacock stone. So let's go ahead and talk about the astrological highlights of the week here. On Tuesday, the 16th of June, we have the sun, which is in Gemini. Now, the sun is our personality, our ego, and how we shine our light. And right now it's shining through that filter of Gemini energy, which is all about logic and analysis and thinking and ideas and communication of all different types. And the sun in Gemini is in what's called an inconjunct aspect, sometimes called a quincunx aspect, to Jupiter in Capricorn. Now, Jupiter is the planet of expansion. Jupiter rules abundance and prosperity, but Jupiter also rules our belief systems. And right now it's in that conservative, practical, grounded sign of Capricorn. And since the sun is in Gemini, which is also a thought-provoking kind of sign, I feel like this aspect has us needing to adjust how we perceive things. Needing to adjust, rather than seeing with just our physical eyes what we believe our physical reality is. This is calling for us in the Jupiter expansive way to shift our perspective, to shift how we're looking upon something or seeing something around us, whether it be personally in our own lives or whether it be on a collective level. Again, Jupiter rules our belief system, so we may have to adjust our belief systems in some way regarding the information that we're seeing, perceiving, or hearing. On Wednesday the 17th, which is the day after that, Mercury, the planet that actually naturally rules Gemini, which means Mercury rules our thoughts, our ideas, our perceptions, and all forms of communication, is going to retrograde motion at 14 degrees of Cancer. Now, Mercury is going to be retrograde until July 12th, so the rest of this month of June and then almost halfway through the month of July. It will retrograde from 14 degrees of Cancer all the way back to 5 degrees of Cancer, so it's going to stay in this intuitive, sensitive, emotional water sign. Now, since Mercury rules logic and our thoughts and the mental realm, and it's in this watery, sensitive sign of Cancer, it's already a little bit uncomfortable. But as it goes retrograde, of course, we can expect the normal misinformation, miscommunications, missed meetings, missed kind of travel itineraries if you're trying to travel at all. Cancer rules home and family dynamics, so I want to say some of the miscommunication can happen in that realm regarding home, regarding family. This can be our biological family, mother, father, brothers and sisters, children. It can also be those people in our lives that we have a strong emotional connection to, that we feel like are a part of our family, that we care about, that we're emotionally bonded to. So also some of that communication that needs to be worked out over this Mercury retrograde could be with those individuals as well. Now, Cancer also rules our inner emotional security. So I also want to say that while Mercury is retrograde, we're actually kind of going within and we're looking at our own thoughts and perceptions regarding what makes us emotionally secure. I should say it in a better way. What creates emotional security for us in our lives? And for everybody, it might be different. Some people, maybe financial security creates emotional security. Other people, it's a solid foundation in the home and family that creates emotional security. For other people, it might be being respected and recognized in one's career or job that brings emotional security. Whatever that is, it's a time to reflect on what brings you emotional security and work out anything that is a karmic pattern or seems to be imbalanced or something within ourselves that we need to be more aware of on an emotional body level to help us to feel more emotionally secure in who we are and what we're doing and what we have to offer the world. On Saturday, the 20th of June, the Sun moves into Cancer, which leads us to Saturday and Sunday, the 20th and 21st, where there's a new Moon Solar Eclipse at 0 degrees of Cancer. So right after the Sun shifts into that water sign, that sensitive sign, that emotional sign of Cancer, that sign of home and family and inner security, we have this new moon, which is about new beginnings, solar eclipse, which intensifies the energy and shifts us karmically into redirections and new potential or new opportunities for new beginnings to take place. Now, the eclipses bring in fated kind of situations and circumstances, meaning we just had that lunar eclipse on June 5th. We are going to have another lunar eclipse on July 4th. Then, of course, this solar eclipse is in the middle here on the 20th, 21st of June. So it's all about completion and endings and healing and releasing what no longer serves our best and highest interest and moving into this new potential and planting new seeds and recreating ourselves in our lives. And it has a fated quality because sometimes it redirects us quickly. And sometimes we're not expecting how the redirection occurs, or we're not expecting what's falling away and then what seems to be coming in as a result of the new seeds being planted. So again, it's us on a higher soul self level and the universe, of course, redirecting us, realigning us with our higher self, our truth, what our truth really is about, what it is that we that we desire, but not from an ego perspective, from a higher soul self perspective. What's going to align us with where we're needing to go next in life, or what we're needing to do? There's a couple things significant about this new moon solar eclipse. One is that it's in the sign of Cancer, which is a cardinal sign. The cardinal signs are Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. And the cardinal signs are signs that initiate action. They're signs that are leadership oriented in some way. And so there is more of a focus on the importance of those cardinal sign energies. Now, of course, we said that Cancer rules the home and family. So we're going to see this, initiation aspect or new beginnings in regards to home, family, loved ones, caretaking, nurturing, assistance, as well as our, again, inner sense of emotional security. The other thing of significance is that not only is it a cardinal sign, which again brings in more of this initiation of action and leadership and take charge energy, but it's at 0 degrees, the very first degree of the sign, which is truly about new birth. When we're at the 0 degree point of any particular planetary energy, it's kind of the birth of that energy. And hensely, when we're at the 29th degree, or the last degree of a sign, we're kind of in the completion mode of that. So not only do we have new moon, which is new beginnings, it's at 0 degrees, which is the birth of a new energy. It's a solar eclipse, it intensifies the energies, and it's a cardinal sign, which again brings in more of an activation of something important. This particular new moon solar eclipse is in a connection to Saturn, and it's what's called, again, an inconjunct or a quincunx, just like at the beginning of the week with the Sun and Jupiter. It's that same type of aspect, which means there's some sort of adjustment that needs to be made with these energies. Saturn is about limitation, restriction, responsibility, bringing things into manifestation. It's about karmic lessons. He's the great teacher of lessons. And because this is an inconjunct or a quincunx aspect, and Saturn rules third dimensional time and maturity and patience, I feel like whatever this new beginning that's being initiated by this eclipse, whatever it's about, we're going to need to be patient, and it's going to take some time to see how it unfolds, to see what the new beginning is all about. So we may not know right in the beginning. We may have a sense that something is shifting. We may have a sense that an old way of energy is being released or being let go of or coming to completion. But we may not know for a little while, until Saturn decides it wants to mature this energy for us. We may not know what this new beginning is quite all about. So have patience and see what the lessons are that he's trying to teach you. Of course, one of those lessons is about patience. One of those lessons is about responsibility, perhaps taking responsibility for your own direction, taking responsibility for the decisions that you make for your own direction. And Saturn, though, with his positive energy, brings things into manifestation and into form. So after a period of time passes, we'll be able to see that start to take place. Now, as of Monday the 22nd, which I know is a part of next week's reading, Neptune, the ruler of the spiritual realm, is going to turn to retrograde motion at 20 degrees of Pisces. And I'm bringing it up in this reading because Neptune is such a slow-moving planet, and even if it was a faster-moving planet, I would bring this up, because it's now at a stationary point. It's standing still at 20 degrees of Pisces all week. It's not moving. So this also is going to intensify the energies of Neptune, which can be about illusion and confusion and delusion and being overly sensitive to energies, whatever those energies might be. But it also rules the imagination, it rules magic, it rules connection to the spiritual realm, meaning to our angels and guides, to our higher soul self, to universal source God. So there's a lot of positives here. As long as you have faith and trust, it's going to amplify our psychic and intuitive abilities and our empathic abilities. And again, it's going to amplify our visualization and imagination capabilities. So use those energies in that way to see, imagine, visualize what it is that you would like to create for this new beginning. And then have faith and trust, because again, Saturn's going to say you're not going to see this start to manifest quite yet, so be patient. So let's go ahead and take a look at the first card here from our angels and guides and see what the message is all about. So we have the Seeker of Flames. Now, the Seeker in this deck, the Syrian Starseed Tarot, is the page in the traditional tarot deck. So with the pages, there's always messages coming in. And the flames is the fire element. The flames is the wands suit in the traditional tarot. So we have the Page of Wands, the Page of Fire, the Seeker of Flames, and we have this image of this person kind of bowed down in a way to some sort of altar and looking for, to me, they're looking for some sort of answers. Now, the flames, the fire, the wands, it's the spiritual realm, it's the spiritual element, it's energy, it's creativity, it's energy in its purest form. So I feel like we're seeking some sort of higher truth here. We're seeking some sort of spiritual truth. We're asking for some sort of higher message or answer to the questions that we now have. So this time period that we're in, I mean, really all the way back some months ago is when it all began, but even just recently with these eclipses that have started to come in here in the month of June, we're seeking answers to the questions we have. Why is this happening? Why is my life the way it is? Why did this person say or do that? I mean, whatever the question might be. And of course, questions on a higher spiritual level as well. Who am I? What am I supposed to be doing here in this life? What's the next step on my path? So in the beginning of the week, or perhaps all week, we're actually seeking those higher spiritual answers. And this is also, again, messages that are coming to us from spirit, maybe from people, maybe through other avenues. But ask the questions. I want to say during this solar eclipse, maybe you want to ask the questions to the universe and ask the universe to give you the answer, that you're seeking answers to these particular questions and to bring those answers to you in whatever way that spirit desires to bring them to you. But this to me feels like, you know, we're doing some sort of a ceremony. We're doing some sort of a ceremony. And this is also too relating to Mercury retrograde. And Mercury retrograde says you might not have all the information right away, or the information might be confusing, or you might have people communicating something and then, you know, some other message comes through or some other form of communication, even from the individual, happens, which goes against what they said to begin with. We're seeking some sort of clarity here. And Spirit, Universe, your angels and guides can help you to find that clarity. Let's take a look at the next card here. And the next card is the Two of Orbs. This is like the Two of Swords in the traditional tarot. And the sword suit is about the mind, our thoughts, our ideas, our communications. And in this image, we have a woman and she's juggling those two orbs. So to me, I always think of needing to make a decision, okay? Again, this is the mental realm. So there might be two possible paths to take. There might be a decision we have to make about two different opposing possibilities, or maybe they're not even opposing, but there might be more than one avenue that we could direct ourselves in. And this is saying that we're uncertain of what that decision should be. And of course, with Mercury retrograde, it would be very beneficial if you could wait until Mercury retrograde was over with and take that time during Mercury retrograde to gather more information, to gather more details, to talk to more people or network with more people to get information. And then as of July 12th, and after that in the second half of July, then we could possibly have enough clarity to make a better decision. Now, it's not always possible to wait almost a month before we make a decision or make a choice about something. So in that place that you might be in, this is about maybe writing out the pros and cons, or at least thinking about what are the pros and cons of both of these, or if there's more than two choices, what are the pros and cons about all of the possibilities, all of the potentials. And as long as you can, to contemplate that, to meditate on that, to ask for the answers. And unfortunately, it might just be going with your intuition here. Mercury in Cancer can be more on the intuitive side because it's in that water sign of Cancer, which rules our psychic senses, our empathic abilities. So to me, it's what feels right. We can go with what we think is right, what feels right, what we intuit is right. But we might have to do that with a lack of clarity and not having all of the puzzle pieces in place. So again, the longer that you can wait and the more information you can get right now to make your choice, the better, because things may not be clear until after Mercury goes direct, and maybe even longer than that with the eclipse energies that we have going on. All right, and then the last card came out as 2 cards, as you can see. So looking at the first of those last 2 cards, ooh, we do have a major arcana. I was wondering if one was going to show up for this solar eclipse week. This is Major Arcana number 12, Hanging Man. Of course, in the traditional tarot, it is the Hanged Man. And the Hanged Man is usually depicted as hanging by 1 foot from a tree branch. In this case, he is hanging by the top of the pendulum, where the chain meets the pendulum here. He's hanging upside down within the pendulum, which is a crystal, which amplifies energies. We also have an amplified crown chakra down here. So his higher perceptions are intensified, but he's upside down. So he's looking at things from a different perspective. He's shifting his idea about the way he sees the world, or events or circumstances or situations in the world. Maybe he's needing to adjust his belief systems, but he is in a still pose. He's almost in a meditative pose, right? His crown chakra is lit up. He's not moving. So there's a standstill energy here. And just like I said, with that new moon solar eclipse and that connection to Saturn, we might need to be patient and wait a little bit for things to start to come together and unfold as far as this new beginning. We might need to shift our perspective about what's going on so that we can make appropriate decisions. So it's kind of like a wait and see kind of time period here. And the more you can tune in with your higher soul self, the more you can tune in to universal energies and allow yourself to look at things from a different vantage point or a different perspective, the better off you're going to be, because there's things going on out there in the world, and there's things going on in your personal lives that all of the information is not yet in, and we can't see clearly what exactly is happening and why. So it's just a matter here of trusting, having faith, waiting, having patience as much as you can to see how things unfold. Now let's see what came out with the Hanging Man as far as further information here. Okay. Ooh, the Ace of Orbs. So this is signifying a new beginning. And again, the orbs is the sword suit. So we're looking at a new beginning in the way of perceiving something. So following the Hangman, that makes a lot of sense. A new beginning as far as our thoughts, our ideas, a new beginning in communication with ourselves and others, a new beginning with our perceptions and how we're seeing something, perceiving something, believing something. And it's interesting, I love that this is a dolphin, because the dolphin is in the water, and even though this is the suit of air, it's like here's the orb up here just above the surface of the water, but the dolphin's underneath the water. And so this is the emotional realm, this is the intuitive realm, this is the psychic and empathic realm. Dolphins are highly intelligent creatures, but they immerse themselves in the water. So they are very balanced between their higher intellect, their higher mind, and their intuition, and their psychic abilities, and empathic abilities. So if you can balance the emotional and the mental bodies in order to have a more clear perspective, a clearer perspective, or to see things in a new way. And that orb is beautiful. You know, that orb is made of different colors. It's blue, it's pink, it's almost a little purple lavender, it's green. So there's a colorful way to look at things. There's a creative way to look at things and to pursue your goals, to pursue your ambitions, to create this new beginning with this new moon solar eclipse. So look at it from a balance of the intellect, the mind, and the intuitive, the emotions, and allow yourself to see the beauty of the new way of thinking, the new way of looking at things. See the beauty around you, I guess is what I'm saying, because right now there's a lot of harshness around. And, you know, this brings up a comment I had on one of my previous videos where I can't remember, I'm paraphrasing, but they commented about how I'm not really speaking of the reality of what's going on out there. And I'm not discounting or minimizing the challenges and the difficulties that us as a collective and as a humanity, and you in your personal lives and what you're all going through. All I try to do is shift us all energetically to see the most positive, to see the potential, to see the possibilities, is what I'm trying to do here, because Spirit is with us always. Our angels and guides with us. Our higher soul self is a part of us. So here we're always connected to that highest source of unconditional love, compassion, wisdom, guidance, protection. And therefore, I'm trying to shift us all to look at the positive as much as we can. And as we shift our mind, body, and soul to a more positive perspective, it lightens our vibration and shifts us in such a way that we can then attract the blessings that the universe is here to kind of give us or guide us toward eventually. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at that Archangel card and see who the Archangel is that's guiding us for this week of the solar eclipse. Okay, this is Archangel Jophiel, and it says, clear your space. At the bottom it says, get rid of clutter, clear the energy around you, and use feng shui. I feel like mostly this is about the energy around us. This is about the thoughts in our mind, the communications that we have with other people, the kind of company that we keep, the type of work we're immersing ourselves in. You know, if we can shift any of those, if we can get rid of lower vibrational energies or energies that clutter our minds and our hearts and our souls, that's going to help to shift us. Clear your space. Archangel Jophiel is the archangel that does help us see the beauty in life that's around us. The beauty in nature especially. So if you can get outdoors, I mean, that's a great way to clear your mind and see things from a different perspective. As you're at work, as you're at your job, as you're with your home and family, or taking care of day-to-day details, we're needing to have our mind be in a particular focus. But if we can get out into nature and touch the trees and talk to the flowers and see the animals and just listen to the wind in the trees or the water in the brook or the stream, that can help us to shift our perspective, to recognize the beauty and the peace and the love that's all around us. And that will help to clear your energy space, which will then give you that fresh perspective to move forward with the next task or the next day, etc. of your life. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at your special message card now, depending on your stone of choice. So taking a deep breath here. All right, and asking for the message for the Ammonite people. I almost dropped a bunch of them. Normally if one was going to drop, I would say that's the card, but there was like a whole bunch of them there. So let's just shuffle a little bit here and ask for a special message for the Ammonite people. Special message for the Ammonite people. What do Ammonite people need to know? This one caught my attention as soon as I opened my eyes. Action. Okay, so as of that new moon solar eclipse, even though this to me is a time of kind of patiently waiting in some respects, you're being called to action, okay? Now, the action may very well be to shift your perspective. That's an action too. But this could also be about some tangible sort of action out in the environment. We have a white horse, we have a black horse. The white horse is kind of in front of, or kind of in a race and winning, if you will, over that black horse. Now, the black horse represents our ego mind, sometimes filled with fears, doubts, and anxieties. The white horse represents our higher soul self, filled with faith and trust and movement forward. So really what we need to do, because we can't get rid of the ego, we don't want to get rid of the ego, it's part of our personality. But if we can bring them into alignment, if we can bring these two horses into alignment so that they're galloping together and they're moving forward towards the goal together, and we're taking action based on our intuition through our higher soul self and based on our ego and personality and what we think is the best thing to do next, then we're going to move forward into our hopes, dreams, and wishes. And I say that because I'm looking that this is number 17 at the top. Number 17, if it were a major arcana card, the number 17 major arcana is the star card, which talks about our hopes, dreams, and wishes coming into fruition. And usually it's at some futuristic point, which means, again, that we have to be patient to move towards something. So this is about continually taking actions, whether it's actions on a project, actions on a goal, or whether it's actions on shifting your perspective or changing your thoughts. It's always, for you, good to be in some sort of action-oriented state to shift something in your lives to be able to get to the goals that you're working towards. All right, let's put that down. And then the next card is going to be for the clear quartz crystal people. Big breath here. Clear quartz crystal people, message for the clear quartz crystal people. Clear quartz crystal people. Okay, this when I opened my eyes, this one of course was jutted out. Fourth chakra, Archangel Raphael. Okay, so this to me is about healing some old heart chakra wounds, maybe healing some relationship matters, and being focused on the heart chakra in general, which is the source of healing and the source of really our intuition. It's the unconditional love, it's the compassion, it's the energies of spirit within us. Archangel Raphael helps to heal our physical bodies as well as heal our emotional bodies. Again, the heart chakra is more emotionally based here. So we're healing, and of course the first part of the week until we get to the new moon solar eclipse, especially as we come to Friday, we're in that sort of dark of the moon phase where a great healing can take place, where things kind of come up that need healing before the new moon starts the new cycle of expansion and starts waxing again to grow our energies and new intentions in a new direction. So I'm not surprised that we're doing some heart chakra healing right now. I'm looking at the number at the top and it says number 38. If we add 38 together, it's master number 11, which reduces to a number 2. And that to me, with the master number 11, is talking about our light worker abilities, our psychic perceptions, our healing abilities, focusing those out into the world. But also the fact that the 11 is made up of 2 ones and it reduces to a 2 brings in the idea of some relationship matters as well that need healing this week and maybe even beyond this week. So call in Archangel Raphael to help you with that. All right, and those of you that chose the peacock ore, all right, peacock ore special message for peacock ore people. Special message for peacock ore people. This one caught my eyes as I opened them. And we have, carrying connections. And we do have Mercury in Cancer. We do have the sun in Cancer going into Cancer on Saturday, and then the new moon solar eclipse in Cancer. So home, family, loved ones, partnerships, friendships even. This is about connecting with people that care about you and showing them love and caring and nurturing in return. I want to say this is a very emotionally close, nurturing, family-oriented kind of card. But you can see this is a man and a woman too, so it has this idea of romantic relationship as well. So again, I think there's something here that needs attention, and again, perhaps healing, but this to me is maybe we need to appreciate each other more. Maybe we need to say those 3 little words that mean so much. Maybe we need to take some actions to do something for the other people in our lives that we love and care about, in our family and in our partnerships. I feel like, again, the relationships need healing. They need attention. Venus, is retrograde or just came out of retrograde. I can't even remember if she did or not already. And of course, Mercury is now retrograde in Cancer. So, there's a lot of intensified energies happening right now, which is bringing a lot of shifts, a lot of focus on different areas of our lives, depending on your own personal astrological chart. I feel like it's time to have again, in relationships, a date night if you're in a romantic relationship that needs some attention. Maybe scheduling with a friend or a family member or other loved one, a luncheon or a tea time, and whether, if this can't be in person, you can do it over Zoom. You can do it on the internet via video conferencing. You know, it may not be totally the same, but it's still a time to connect with those that we care about. The number 14 is a karmic number. It's the 14 here at the top of the card, which talks about karmic lessons regarding changes that need to be made. Karmic lessons regarding sense of freedom as well. So there may be something in regards to these connections with other people that bring up the idea or essence of freedom or change in some way, shape, or form that needs to be worked through. So I hope you've all enjoyed this weekly angel card reading. I want to thank all of you for subscribing to my channel, sharing my videos, commenting on my videos, checking me out on my 2 Facebook pages, Colleen Lemma and Sacred Soul Empowerment, checking out my website, which I'm working on some changes, although it's slow going. And thank you for those of you that have inquired about my classes and workshops, as well that has scheduled readings with me lately. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I thank you all so much, and I'm sending you all much love and light during this time, and many, many angel blessings.